When my wife Elizabeth told me that she wanted to get her own off-road and overland vehicle, the choice for me was obvious. Most of this channel's growth has been based around Toyota, so I suggested that she got herself either the current or the next generation 4Runner. She disagreed and told me that she wanted a Jeep. This obviously wasn't acceptable to me at all, and we argued and eventually we compromised by getting a Jeep. And here it is. This is the 2020 Jeep Wrangler Unlimited, also known as the JLU in Sarge Green. And it actually turns out this is not such a bad choice of vehicle, because the most searched term that leads to my channel on YouTube is not Toyota. It's not the Toyota Tundra, it's not even the Toyota 4Runner. It's the Jeep Wrangler. The trim we went with was the Rubicon, which comes with a ton of off-road goodies. Let's take it out for a drive off-road and I'll talk more about what it can do and why we went with this one. If you're watching my channel because you search for Wranglers, you should probably subscribe, because there's going to be a lot more content based around this and building it out for overlanding. And in fact, even if you didn't search for Wranglers and you ended up here, you should probably subscribe anyway. The Rubicon is Jeep's most off-road capable trim on their most off-road capable vehicle. Like all Wranglers, you get the solid front and rear axle, but on the Rubicon, both the front and rear are locking, which allows the torque to go to the wheel that has the most grip. You also get an electronic disconnecting sway bar in the front, which gives you more flex or articulation, and that allows the wheels to stay in contact with the ground for longer. Even stock as this thing sits, it is incredibly capable. Far more capable than my built-out Tundra and built-out 4Runner. The trade-off with having a more capable vehicle is the poorer ride quality. Despite being a massive improvement over the last generation Wrangler, the JK, this is still not a great vehicle for driving on long road trips. The ride is bumpy, it tends to wander a little bit, the steering is really light, and this thing has horrendous road noise. Every off-road vehicle that you buy is going to have some kind of trade-off or compromise between capability and on-road ride quality, and Elizabeth doesn't mind. For her, the trade-off was worth it, but for me, switching from the Tundra to this, it is noticeably worse on the road. There are a few options that we wanted when we were looking at Jeeps that don't necessarily help with the off-road performance. Inside, we have the leather seats with the cold weather package that adds the seat heating and the steering wheel heating. We also wanted to have the safety group and the advanced safety group, which gives us the adaptive cruise control and blind spot monitoring, brake assist, and parking sensors. This one also comes with the trailer tow package, which was not one of our requirements, but it's nice to have because it has the auxiliary switches, so we can add up to 4 lights, light bars, and so on, which is one of the things we have planned. We would have liked to have had a few of the other options. The halogen lights on this are truly awful, so it would have been nice to have had the LED package. The front bumper on this one is plastic, and you can actually get steel OEM bumpers. They look great, and it means we could have just dropped a winch right in. And finally, had I built my own, I probably would have gone with the Extreme Recon package, which adds 35-inch tires and a little bit of extra lift. Of course, the great thing about the Wrangler is just how customizable it is. We can add all of that stuff. In fact, I could put 40-inch wheels on here, 40-inch tires, I could put 40-inch wheels on here too. Massive lift, bunch of accessories, you know, basically whatever we want. There's just so many options. As you can see, we have done a couple of mods since I did the introduction. One of them is the front bumper here. We've gone with this, which is the Arcus from Rugged Ridge, and I don't know a whole lot about it in terms of durability, quality, and so on, but it is stamped steel, which on the downside is not going to be as strong as something that's fully welded. You know, I'm not going to want to be ramming this into rocks, but it is lightweight and it kind of retains the factory OEM look, which I like. And I think that this vehicle is going to be high clearance enough that that's not going to be a huge problem. I do like that it comes with this recovery point, which is not only really beefy, but it has that hook, which I think would be really useful for wrapping a winch line around if we're doing a whole bunch of winching. Saves me reeling in every single time. Talking of winches, we've gone with this, which is the one 10,000 pound synthetic winch. I have the 12,000 pound one on my Tundra and I really like it. And because it's synthetic, it's going to help keep the weight down a little bit more. And that's really one of our goals with this, is to keep it a little bit lighter than the Tundra.
Both Elizabeth and I are very happy with how the bumper looks installed. We didn't put the fog lights in because we decided some Heretic Studio Quattro pods would work much better. We also plan to add a couple more of their off-road lights to the top of the hoop. The only other thing we're going to change is the one hook. That's terrible, and we'll be replacing it with a Factor 55 Ultra hook like the one I have on my Tundra.
In the future, we probably are going to make some suspension and wheel and tire upgrades, but for now we're going to keep it kind of stock in how it is. I definitely want to get some method race wheels on here, especially since I have that discount code. That's going to help us out a lot, and actually I've shared that with you. I'll put that in the description so that you can use that too. And the goal is to put 35s on here. We'll probably go with the same tires that I have on the Tundra, which are Toyo Open Country 83s. The other mods I have planned are all kind of storage things. In the back, SHW Off-Road is developing one of their drawer systems. They have two options. One of them is the Expedition series, which has 500-pound drawer slides that are fully extending. But I'm actually going to go with their ultralight option. It's actually cheaper and it only weighs 60 pounds. On the roof, we'll be adding a Rhino Rack roof rack. I need to order that at some point because we plan on putting our iCamper rooftop tent on here. So obviously I need something that's strong that's going to work with the fiberglass shell. And finally, I already have this one. I bought this used. I got some trail racks, pack racks to go on the side, and they just clip in here and here and give a bunch of extra storage. Great for water, gas, little max tracks, that kind of thing. What do you think of your new Jeep?
I like it. It's a lot more fun off-road than the Tundra is.
Why?
It's just more capable.
And easier?
Yeah, a lot easier. Easier to get through obstacles.
Yeah. Why?
Because it has the juice.
I know since I said that this is better than Toyota off-road that I'm going to get a bunch of comments about how reliability is actually the most important thing. It's a given, and it happens anytime I mention something that Toyota isn't good at. The good thing is that we bought this from Dan Cummins in Georgetown and Paris, Kentucky, and most of their vehicles, new or used, come with a lifetime powertrain warranty. That gives us some peace of mind. All I have to do is get this inspected by them for free every 15,000 miles. What's even better is that I can actually have this lifted and modified through them, and it doesn't void that warranty. If you end up going and checking out some of their vehicles, make sure you tell them that I sent you, Rob from Revere Overland sent you. You don't actually get anything out of it, but I get a nice referral check, and I appreciate that. The trail we're on today is Spies Creek Road, which is probably one of my favorite trails here in my home state of Kentucky, and it's also one of the first trails that I did, and It's a trail that you can find on OnX Off-Road, who are the sponsor of today's video. OnX is a mapping and navigation app. You can actually see I've got those little blue dotted lines on there. Those are GPX tracks for the Kentucky Adventure Tour that I uploaded onto this, and I could potentially use to navigate and continue doing the Kentucky Adventure Tour if the Jeep had wireless CarPlay, which it doesn't for some reason. I didn't bring a little cable, so obviously I have to add that in the future. But the main attraction of OnX is the ability to find thousands of trails across the US. Actually, there's about 500,000 miles of curated trails, like Spies Creek, which is the highlighted blue one on here. And for each of those trails, you get some information. So you can see at the top, I have the trail name. Underneath, it's got an overview, so it tells you a little bit about it. Got difficulty, so this one is a moderate rated trail, 5 out of 10, and usually has some pictures on here. This one in particular is best run in the spring and the summer, and I mean, you can probably see from the video that we've done, it's a very wet trail. It hasn't rained here in Kentucky for quite some time yet. It's still covered in puddles and mud, so you probably wouldn't want to do this one in the winter when it has been raining a whole bunch. If you want to learn more about OnX Off-Road, I'll put a link to it in the description. If you use that link to sign up, you do get, I believe it's 20% off, or you can use the coupon code Revere. Now, I've noticed coming up this trail, we have scraped the bottom a few times with the stock setup on the Rubicon. Obviously, it's a great setup, but a little bit of extra clearance would go a long way. So I've been looking at the Clayton off-road lift. May need to check that one out a little closer. Well, this is the end of the trail, and the Jeep did really well, even though it is completely stock. And even though there are a few things I still want to do to it, we're actually getting ready to take it out to Colorado pretty much as it sits in a few weeks' time for a big trip. So if you want to see that or a whole bunch more Jeep content, make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you're not already, love to have you. Right now, about 14% of my viewers are subscribed, and I'd love to make it to 100,000 subscribers. Completely achievable if you guys all subscribe. Thanks for watching.